Okay, I think I'm ready. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us here today. The reason I'm creating this video is because I'm on my morning walk here in gorgeous Flagstaff, Arizona, and I found a COVID test on the ground. And I started thinking about how we've been through so much over the past almost 3 years since December 2019, and there are so many controversial topics, and it's dividing a lot of us. So I wanted to talk to you about your children. One of my favorite things about the Montessori method, and mind you, you don't have to be in a classroom to incorporate the Montessori method into your life. In fact, I have noticed parents who are observant and enjoy spending time with their children and showing them how to live a fulfilling life patiently and carefully. Some of them don't know what Montessori is, yet they are incorporating her principles into their daily lives. So I just wanted to point out that you don't need to drop everything and put your children in a Montessori school. If you are very happy with the school that you have your children in right now, you can, what's the word I'm thinking of? You can add into your day some of the Montessori philosophy to help your children be even more successful at the school that you love so much. What's the word? You know what I mean. Like when you're nursing a baby, supplement. And you supplement with formula, which I highly advise against unless, absolutely medically necessary, because then you get nipple confusion and then your baby's not nursing from you anymore. Long story short, anyhow, mother is best. Mother's breast is best. So, back to COVID-19 and all of the things that have been going on. One of my favorite things about the Montessori philosophy is that we teach your children to think critically about the environment that they have found themselves in, that they have been born into. And once again, this can be done by people who don't even know what Montessori is. Basically, your child has been born into a different time than you have. Therefore, it's vital that you not force your belief system and your values onto your child. You observe them, see what lights their fire, and notice they're going to have a totally different experience here on planet Earth than you have. They're not with you 24/7. They're forming their own friend groups. They're forming their own opinions. And so you do your best to guide them without telling them what to do. So one of the things that my dad used to do, and it infuriated me at the time, but when I think back about it, I now see why he did it, because my mom trained him how to work with children. So he used that training on me a lot of the times. So we would sit down and we would have these lengthy philosophical discussions about life because we were really close. And he always said, well, what do you think? Or, well, how do you feel about that? And so I encourage you to share your experiences, of course, with your children. Share stories, just like we do in lower elementary, the great stories. Share those beautiful stories, but also take the time to listen to your child's stories and listen to how they feel about any given situation, and give them the freedom, in a prepared environment, of course, but give them the freedom to make their own choices about the interesting world that we have found ourselves in right now. And then, of course, we still have a responsibility. This comes in with the, excuse me, I just went up a big hill. This comes in with a prepared environment. So not only do you give them the freedom to make their own choices, but you also prepare the environment by sharing with them what society expects of them. So let's say you're going in to eat at a restaurant, and this was, you don't usually see this anymore, but there's a big sign that says, if you are going to eat here, please put on a mask. And this is a private business owner, so you tell your child about how it is a private business owner, and they do have a choice as to whether or not they want to ask you to wear a mask. And some businesses are, explain to your child that some businesses are the opposite. Some businesses will say, we don't enforce masks. We strongly encourage them, but we don't enforce them or cannot enforce them. And then take this time to talk to your children about the legislation around the masking mandate, and ask them how they feel. Ask them what they think about it. For instance, Greg, and this probably is related to the fact that he's high-functioning autistic, he puts his mask on. Like, for instance, he'll come home from school with his mask on, and he won't even realize he's wearing it because he's had it on all day long. And so I'll gently remind him, hey, you have your mask on, and he'll just tear it off. Because we'll be going to a grocery store or something like that. And he did share with me that it makes him feel suffocated. So I found that fascinating, because even though it makes him feel suffocated, he is not consciously aware of it when he gets into the car, and he doesn't take it off. You see the other children taking them off right away, and then he keeps his on. We're talking not just the ride home, but I've observed him, and he'll keep it on for anywhere from 1 to 2 hours after we get out of school. So, an interesting observation. Anyhow, I just wanted to share that information with you, and encourage you to please follow me if you found this information helpful and you're interested in learning more about Montessori. The channel on YouTube is Ask a Montessorian, and Instagram, Ask a Montessorian, and TikTok, Ask a Montessorian. Thank you so much for joining me here today, and please always feel free to ask a Montessorian. And I also wanted to share some other resources with you really quickly, which I will also put in the comments. My training is the Association of Montessori International, and their website that has lots of parent resources on books and articles and training centers, in case you're so enamored with Montessori that you want to go and get the teacher training. It's www.amigusa.org. And then we also have another large group of training centers here in the United States, and that is the American Montessori Society. And I will go ahead and put their website. It doesn't come to mind immediately, but I'll go ahead and put their website in the notes as well. And if you just look up Montessori on Instagram or TikTok, it is growing so quickly. It is phenomenal how fast people are becoming aware of her method and learning more about valuing your child's concentration, practicing observation, and paying attention to what lights their fire, and giving mindful lessons and giving them. This is the thing that I always forget because I get in a rush, right? I'm a mom, busy mom, and I forget to do this. But I want to encourage all of you to not do what I do in this instance. When I remember, it's beautiful, but slow down, give the lesson to your child. So show them carefully how to do what it is that you're teaching them to do, step by step, with precision, and then step away and let them do it by themselves. And as long as they're not hurting the materials or themselves in the process of doing the lesson, if they're making a mess, you show them how to clean it up. It's that simple. But give them the freedom to repeat what you just showed them. And I'll show Greg something, and then we'll be, 10 minutes away from getting to school. And so try and plan out your day so that you have some special moments. We're talking an hour, depending on the age of the child, so that you can take that time to give them those special lessons. And always feel free to ask a Montessorian. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful Wednesday.